Oh, that camera is completely screwed up. Hold on. Oh, shit. Normally I take care of this ahead of time. Not today. Oh my gosh, we are going to have some fun today. I've got something for you that Tom Steele sent along, and I cannot wait to play it for you. Kenny, did you change the picture on your YouTube? What? And I can sense that sarcasm from you. You pain in the ass. I want you people that are getting in here right now. Sam is here. That's a new person. Kevin Corbett normally is not here. He is a freebie today, and you are welcome on your daily membership, Kevin. Boy, does it look like it's sideways? It does, doesn't it? Hang on. We can't start if it's all jacked. %0 better.
And don't nobody want their child to be sick, and don't nobody want to take that virus to their house.
And now, here's a guy who has to have a pork chop tied around his neck to get the dogs to play with him.
Dude, keep your mouth shut if you knew it was good for you, buddy.
It's the Erickson Show podcast with your host, Erickson.
Well, thank you very much, Johnny. Welcome to the Erickson Show podcast. This is a daily podcast to discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. I can't even handle that. To look at that for the whole podcast. I had to throw it up. Welcome into the Erickson Show podcast. So glad you are here. We have a free Patreon Friday, so there might be a few more of you. We might even get up to more than 19. If we get 24, wouldn't that be fantastic? So glad to have you have you here. And all right. The usual suspects, thank you so much. I've got some really uplifting things to talk about. I mean, there's one story in particular about the priest is just, I'm thanking my wife for tipping me off on it. It is absolutely incredible. I've got some audio I need to play for you of a sweet old black guy who's awesome, and his hilarious granddaughter who's playing a kind of a prank on him. Thank you to Tom Steele for sending that one along. You'll be able to see it later. The audio is fantastic. The video makes it that much more fun. You'll be able to see it when you click on the show notes link or in the news section of ericsonshow.com. How it went for me, finishing up the free podcast, which I had a bit of a tech issue on the Facebook feed. I think it was all right on YouTube and Twitter. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but occasionally you'll get a couple of ghosts in the machine that'll make it a little bit of a tough thing to deal with. But it did crap out late. But sorry about that. If you missed anything, go catch the audio feed at ericsonshow.com. If you are new here, I do want you to consider signing up for the $5 or $10. This is my one commercial I do, the $5 or $10 a month subscription to the Patreon bonus. All right, that helps keep the lights on. As you know, I've been racing towards 0 on the Patreon bonus podcast. We have a nimble bunch of 223 proud Patreon members that I am so thankful for. as we approach the end of the month. Please renew. Please don't let it run out. And for all of you, you are eligible to win cash on Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia. Taking on Throat/Dale, $25 a game. We are up for a $50 prize for Derek in Duluth, Minnesota, coming up next week. And if you are a member on Patreon, do let me know that you want to be in the drawing, because I don't want to pull your name out if you don't want to play. So you got to send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, and let me know so I can put you in the bag. Everybody does get a chance to play. You will all be able to play the game at one point or another. And then when we go through all of the names, we'll start over. So you're guaranteed to play the game. That's all at patreon.com/EricZane. Please sign up. I need you. I'm a small business just like everybody else. I do the best I can. And hopefully with a little bit of luck, I'll be able to convert a couple of you over, and I won't let you down. I'm sure we'll have a great time together. All right. So this is a public service announcement to the Michigan shopper. I noticed this when I was out shopping the other day. First of all, I think that when you wear those gloves out in public, I think you're giving yourself a false sense of invulnerability. Okay? When you wear the gloves, if you happen to come in contact with coronavirus, the contaminants are on your hand. And if you're a type of shopper who then, let's just say in the start of the shopping visit, you do have the virus on your hands, and then you buy all your goods, are you going to then just walk into your house after you throw the gloves away and think, oh, I'm good, and then just put the shit in your shelves or cook with it for that night's meal? If you don't take care to make sure that the virus isn't on those products, you're fucked, all right? You got to wipe it all down. You got to leave it outside for a few days, let the thing die off. You don't want to put yourself at risk. Take those precautions. The gloves, I think, either way, those same steps are going to be taken. So if it's either on your hands or on your gloves. The problem isn't when the virus gets on your hands. The problem is when your stupid ass touches your face, or you touch something like the product itself, or the steering wheel, or the car door handle. You're doing it all wrong with these damn gloves. Don't worry about the fucking gloves. The only thing you need when you go out is a thing of Clorox wipes in a bag and the hand sanitizer. You go into the store. Okay, you're contaminated. Great. So are your products. Great. You get to the car. You put the hand sanitizer on. The stuff's in the car, in the trunk. Hand sanitizer. Get in the car. Drive home. Don't touch your face, just in case. Get out of the car. Do what I've already talked to you about when you get home in the garage. I don't want to go down that road again. I already covered it many times. Reason why I bring this shit up is because I'm walking through the Meijer parking lot, and some dick has taken off the gloves and drops them in the parking lot. True selfishness at its finest. Yeah, let somebody else clean up my gloves that might be tainted. What a horrible piece of evidence to show the selfish prick that was wearing those gloves. If by chance there's something awful contaminating those gloves, it's someone else's problem. I don't care. It's off of my hands. Doesn't matter to me. Drop in the parking lot. Fuck you, you asshole. And if you're a person who's enjoying this right now and happen to be the cock who does that, don't worry. You can be a little embarrassed. You don't have to raise your hand that you did it. But know this, you're a dick and you can't do that anymore. So knock it the fuck off. Jesus. I saw this the other day, and then this coincides with a story that Bleeding Heart Brian sent me about how the Detroit Free Press did an article about how it's everywhere now. They went to 4 stores in and around Metro Detroit. There's gloves everywhere. These dicks take the gloves off. You don't need the fucking gloves in the first place, okay? Because of what I just told you. Think it through, people. Fucking stupid. All right. That's my soapbox moment there. As you know, I know everything. Man, when I heard about this priest in Italy, I was so proud that this person exists in the world. His name was Father Don Giuseppe Deli, 72-year-old priest. Father Don is going to be known, I am pretty sure, as Saint Don Giuseppe Deli at one point in time down the road. Because listen to this. Talk about all the selfishness about those gloves on the ground. How about this selflessness? I mean, talk about giving something up. This is absolutely Jesus-like. I cannot believe that this actually happened. Well, no, I take it back. I can, because I have a lot of faith in humanity. I think that there's plenty more good in the world than there is bad. So I'm going to make it a point to make a big deal about the now legendary Father Don Giuseppe Deli. He was the archpriest of the parish of San Giovanni Battista in Casnigo, Italy. He died on about March 15th. The parishioners of the San Giovanni Battista church in Casnigo, Italy, were upset because Father Don came down with COVID-19. Older guy, 72 years old, so they're a little concerned. Well, then things started to take a turn, and he wasn't recovering. So there were no ventilators and no money to buy ventilators. The parish quickly gathered a ton of dough and bought a ventilator. Now, these are tens of thousands of dollars. They actually went and, for their priest, purchased a ventilator for Father Don. That's going to save his life. Allows his hurting lungs to be able, his system to get the oxygen it needs. He is not going to suffocate. He's not going to stop breathing. He is not going to die, or he has a less chance of dying with the ventilator. You know what he did, don't you? He said, I refuse the ventilator. There is another patient in the next room, a young man with a family. Give him the ventilator. And that's what happened. The other dude lived, and Father Don Giuseppe Deli died. He gave up his life for this stranger. Oh my God. That is what Jesus did. That is it. That is his life, the 72 years prior, had been building up to this one opportunity, this one absolutely extremely incredible moment of selflessness. He actually gave up his life for the younger guy. I felt privileged to have read that story. My gosh. He had been given the equipment, and he said, nope, I don't want it. He was a simple, straightforward person, according to the article, with a great kindness and helpfulness towards everyone, believers and non-believers. Giuseppe Umberti, the mayor of Casnigo, said in a statement, according to the local publication, the priest will be remembered for his smile and dynamism, being, I guess, dynamic, according to the article, as well as his motorcycle. Loved his motorcycle. So how about that, man? I mean, if you're Jesus up there, you know that news story just cuts through the clutter. And he's like, oh, man, all right. Here, this is what I'm talking about, man. And you just swing open the gate. I mean, the soul just shoots up towards heaven at like SpaceX. Absolutely incredible story. I loved that story. He died so that another may live. That is absolutely what it's all about. Man, I hope that I would have the right stuff to do that. I guess I can't really put myself in those shoes because I'm not 72 years old. I haven't lived my full life yet, but that whole effort by him is going to have a very, very lasting impact. I have a story that's going to make you laugh next. I have another story that might make you cry after that. And then I have a story that's going to make you mad. Okay, I'm taking you in several places in this podcast. On the Patreon bonus, if you're new, I'd like to, from time to time, check out what these knuckleheads are doing. Especially lately, it has resulted in fights on the podcast, rants, the usual gang of miscreants that populate the live stream, go out of their way to try to piss me off, in particular, Kenny. And the way it usually works is they all send him text messages saying things like, get him going, or piss him off, or say something to make him mad. And then I flip out. Yesterday, I flipped out bad. I was screaming at them over shit that they were. I don't even remember it. I banished it from my brain as a bunch of dicks. They're probably going to say something mean about the priest or something like that. Welcome, Melinda from beautiful Tennessee. Look at Jason. He wrote, it's time, Kenny. You see, these fuckers have been plotting this shit. Oh, my God. Sarah, welcome. You know, I'm going to take a little time to brag about you. Now, I don't know if everybody knows about this. Sarah is excellent in her sewing skills, and she heard about the need for the masks. So she and members of her family have been spending the whole week making masks for our first responders. Remember I talked about Hero Services of West Michigan? Jordan sent me that, hey, we need help. Can you spread the word? Well, she was already hard at work. And I look at her. She's like, stop it. Shut up. I'm going to take care of you. I know what the hell I'm doing. She made these stacks of them, of these masks, out of like a cloth and fabric around her house. It's they say like John Deere. It's all probably from old T-shirts and things like that she cleaned and sanitized. So it'll say like, Billy Ray Cyrus tour 1989. And then she like made it into a mask. Awesome. Well done. All right. Yeah, she did a great job. So thanks to the number of people that are here. If you're new, do stick around by being part of the Patreon bonus podcast in the future. Sign up. I would love you to do that. Thank you. All right. Now, what I'm about to take care of right now is a hilarious video. Thank you to Tom Steele for tipping me off about this about 1 hour ago. I don't know much about it. I'll try to track it down, maybe get a person on the air who is involved in it. But what you have here is a lady who has done like Sarah and made a mask. Except she made it out of one of the cups of her bra. And so it's got a strap, and you put the bra cup over your face. And she is walking into the bedroom of her grandfather. And she's like, you got to wear this mask. Now, these are just hilarious people. And she obviously plays pranks like this on this poor old timer from time to time. Because he almost like as soon as she walks in the room, he's suspicious and thinking he's been set up. He realizes very early into this video, which I'm going to play you the audio for. It's incredibly hilarious, whether it's audio or video. You are going to laugh. He realizes that it's a bra, the cup from a bra. And he's like, I'm not wearing this. And he's like, come on, I know what you're trying to do. You're going to make me put it on and you're going to laugh at me. But she continues to badger him to put the cup with the elastic band on it as a mask on so that he's safe. And he's like, why? And she's not doing it to keep him safe. She's doing it so he doesn't look like an ass, or so that he can look like an asshole. Listen to this. You are going to laugh. Here we go. She walks into the room.
Oh, that's cool. I got your mask.
Get your mask.
Your mask in my hand. Okay, go.
This it?
Yeah. Got the. That's the thing. Go.
Goddamn titty.
No, it ain't.
You're a titty.
No, it ain't, man. Put it.
This what you wear on your goddamn
Junior,
titty.
I got one titty.
Well, goddamn it. This is what you want. I know what this motherfucker is. It's a titty.
Junior, you put the thing around your head.
On my face. That's a goddamn.
It's not.
That's a titty, goddamn it.
Junior, this is not it. This is a mask.
This is no motherfucking mask. You hook this motherfucker up. You made it. Hook it up.
Oh my God.
But this ain't on. This is a woman's goddamn titty.
Junior, no, it is not.
Junior.
I'm telling you, it's a mask. Try the mask on, please. Just go behind your head.
No, when I put this motherfucker on, you gonna start laughing.
No, I'm not.
That's a titty.
No, I'm not.
It's a titty, motherfucker.
No, I'm not. Could you please try on the mask?
This is gonna be
I
me
took my
in 30
time and
years.
I made it for you. I did one too.
Made Diddy one too.
Just
let me see this.
It's downstairs. Just try it on.
I rather damn white mask. Put
Just try
damn white mask.
Can you try the mask on?
Bitch ass titty.
This is not it. Could you please try the mask on that I made? I done took my time down there sewing. Could you try it on?
Again, this will be my granddaughter and me.
It probably there go behind your head.
You full of shit.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh, damn weak ass shit.
It's not weak. just try it on. It's more comfortable. You say you want one to cover up? Come on, put it on. This part here go behind your head. Don't just behind your head, ears and stuff.
You know, you come up with some dumb shit in the.
This is not no dumb shit. This a mask. We get through. I'm gonna show you folks wear this. I don't
wearing this shit.
What?
Folks ain't wearing
Yes,
this
they is.
shit.
Would you try it on? It fit good.
Shit. Can't even get the motherfucker on.
Yes, you can.
Okay, now it's really tight, and he's trying to put it on, and at some point, it's like too tight, and it's like really digging into his face.
I put it down.
Can't get this motherfucker on. You put it
it
like
on
that,
down.
so I can't get the motherfucker on.
No, put it on down over your nose.
This motherfucker hard to get down.
Just put it on down.
Why you made this shit here?
Yeah.
Put it down.
Now I
Okay.
can't get the motherfucker over my goddamn eyes. Man, fuck this motherfucker. Shit.
Put it down over your eyes.
Man, shit, I can't get the motherfucker on my
Just
motherfucker
put it down
eyes.
some more.
Motherfucker blinding me.
Put it down some more. Put it
It
down.
won't go.
Oh my God! You know how to put a mask on.
Yeah, but this motherfucker won't go. Tight ass bitch.
There you go. There you go. Now look up. Look up.
Fuck you.
He rips it off.
Get that motherfucker out of here.
Okay. Where to begin? Holy shit. Oh my God. You got to see it. I'll link it up. It'll be in show notes of this podcast on Patreon. And then you can see it's even that much more funny when you see it. And I'll link it up in the news of ericsonshow.com. You know, seriously, opportunity missed if you're that family. You got to put a microphone in front of that guy and just have a conversation with him every single day. You'd have 80 million downloads a day of that show. I would never grow tired of that. I love that man. I love that granddaughter. How much fun is that family? Holy shit. Oh my God. Spectacular. Drew Brees made a big announcement on the Today Show today, and they wired him in with Skype or whatever, and he's making some big donation to for those in need during this difficult time. It should be noted that Louisiana has turned out to be a huge problem in terms of fighting this virus because of what apparently happened was there were sick people into the streets of Mardi Gras during Mardi Gras and during those parades, which they think is a direct contributor to this big spike. And if it continues trending that way, that the exponential growth of this, by the time it tops out, that'll be like a big epicenter spot. Probably not that different than like New York is, you know? New York has 20 million people stacked on top of each other. New Orleans had that for a period of time during those parades, so who knows how that thing may have spread. But anyway, Drew Brees is on there on the Today Show. By the way, I got to say, I have a huge crush on Savannah Guthrie and Hoda Kotb. I don't know what it is about those two. Oh my God, massively in love with both of them. Huge crush. They're in separate rooms. Kotb is in the studio. Guthrie's at her house. They're honoring the idea of staying away. So that's the way they do the show. Kotb is interviewing Drew Brees, and she's wrapping it up. And all she has to do is wrap it up and say, all right, now on to the next story. And things fall apart. She gets caught up in it and quite emotional, is Hoda Kotb.
I think a lot of things are contagious, including generosity. So our hope is that because, you let us know that you made this big, generous donation, I think other people look and say, hey, maybe I can help out too. Drew, we love you.
Love you too, Hoda.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, a lot more.
Oh.
Sorry.
Hoda. I know it's a lot. Hoda, I'm so sorry, hon. Take a moment. Sorry. It's a lot. I know where your heart is, my dear. I do. How about I read the teas? You
Yes,
want me
please.
To?
Oh,
Okay.
she came
Okay.
unglued. Big time,
Deep
man.
breath.
Super emotional.
We have a lot more this morning.
That,
to
you know
get
what that
to,
is?
Including
That's
more
like
on
all of this
definitely-
unfolding in front of their eyes, and it all kind of comes to a head for her. That's not easy. And a pro like that, for her to just fall apart. I mean, that means there's a lot on her brain. I wish her well. That was a bummer. I feel bad for her, really do. I think we're all going through a lot of that to some degree. Megan, that made her cry. Shit, I'm sorry. Oh man. All right, so yeah, I'm thinking about all the. Hopefully, we'll be able to get through this as quickly as possible. The news in the past day or two has been that there is relief on the way in terms of dollars and cents. A lot of the advertisers on the Erick's Show podcast are moms and pops, and they're looking at small business loans that might even be forgiven by the country if they meet certain requirements and stipulations. Like if you're keeping your employees paid, you can actually apply for that. So I know several of the advertisers on the podcast that will probably take advantage of that. And then there is the relief money. The U.S. is dipping into coffers to the tune of $2.2 trillion to bailouts for some of the bigger entities, what I just talked about for small business and for you and I. We gave the details and talked a little bit about it yesterday. I'm sure most of you have heard about who qualifies. I'm sure pretty much everybody that listens to this podcast, 90% of America is going to see money from this. And the idea here is give you $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 to buy you time. If you're not working, this will be important. You'll be able to survive, hopefully. Obviously, bare bones. You're not going to be going out and doing anything. So that money, you can stretch it out and keep the lights on and do what we have to do. So this is a great thing. And it flew by. Finally, it took a little while for it to get to the point that it is right now. But passed the Senate unanimously, 90-some votes to nothing. This is a done deal. So now it has to pass in the House. And then that would then wind up on the president's desk. He signs it, and you'll have money deposited into your account within a few weeks. At least that's the goal. But let's welcome in the new most hated man in America today. He's a Republican from the great state of Kentucky. You've never heard of him. His name is Thomas Massie. The one guy who threw a wrench into the plan was this guy. This was a done deal. Republicans and Democrats had finally figured out a way to play together in the same sandbox. And this guy, who is opposed to this massive bill, has decided to try his best to derail all of the good things that I told you are going to happen because of this large amount of money that we need. We have to have this. It's so important that we get access to this money for business, both small and large, and our personal pocketbooks. We have to have it. One guy is doing his best to make you not have that. How? How could anybody do this? I'll go over the details with you. He's described as a maverick, which I hate that fucking term. You might as well take maverick and put asshole, which is too bad because they used to call John McCain a maverick, and now that term is sullied because of this guy. I like John McCain. Rest in peace. House leaders plan for swift action on this package to ease the coronavirus pandemic's devastating toll. Ran into complications today as one asshole threatened to delay the passage until everybody gets to Washington for a vote. You see, they had agreed to do it via electronically, like a phone call. Yes, I agree, which makes sense because not everybody wants to go to Washington right now because there's a pandemic. They all had to drive back or fly back in some cases. All these pissed off lawmakers returned to the Capitol, in which Americans have been urged to self-quarantine and keep their distance. As you know, as the House gavelled into session Friday morning, there was no doubt that one way or the other, the chamber would eventually give final congressional approval to the largest economic relief package in the history of the country. But Representative Thomas Massie, an asshole Republican from Kentucky who's opposed, set the House on edge by threatening to try to force a roll call vote. Party leaders had hoped to pass the measure by voice vote without lawmakers having to take the risk of traveling to Washington. Massie took to Twitter to suggest he'd require a quorum of lawmakers, 216 of them, to be present and voting. Massie didn't respond to a reporter's request for comment. So everybody's like, well, we can't be sure if this is going to work, so we got to go back just to be sure. Numerous high-ranking Republicans have called Massie in an attempt to persuade him to let the voice vote proceed. According to a top House GOP aide, they included House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, Representative Mark Meadows, whom President Trump has chosen as his new chief of staff. If those efforts fail and a roll call is needed, Republicans believe they will have more than 100 of their members back at the Capitol, according to the aide who spoke on a condition of anonymity to describe private conversations. I don't know why this dick did this. We haven't been able to get an answer why this even happened in the first place. You have perfect opportunity here to get the ball rolling on this as quickly as possible, and this one peckerhead decides he's going to slow down the whole fucking process by making everybody actually physically get back to Washington when everybody except him agreed to do it via voice. Why? What good does it do you? It's because he's opposed to it, and he's an asshole. He's the fact that he's doing this, and probably all of his constituents hate him for it, is ridiculous. He's pretty much making himself unelectable going forward. Let's see. If those efforts fail and the roll call is needed, Republicans, as I already read that, Democratic leaders urge lawmakers who are willing and able to come to the Capitol to do so. Massie's moves infuriated lawmakers, forcing many to trek to Washington for a vote, not even sure it even happen. If a quorum can't assemble Friday, more members would have to travel for a Saturday session. Heading to Washington to vote on pandemic legislation because one member of Congress refusing to allow emergency action. Entire Congress must be called back to vote in-house. Everybody hates this guy. Republicans, Democrats, they all hate him. Risk of infection and risk of legislation being delayed. Disgraceful and irresponsible. I very rarely get into nuts and bolts conversations like this, because it's a little fatiguing to sit there and talk about it. But this guy isn't giving any real reason as to why he wants to do this, why he's delaying it and putting all these people at risk, considering, our entire way of life is threatened. Though this stimulus package is going to happen, We don't know ultimately what's going to happen to the human race. Hell, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow regarding this. There is a high degree of uncertainty. And for the American public to fret over anything at any degree of anxiety because one dick decides he wants to slow the process up is beyond me. Absolutely shameful. Folks, as always, you are encouraged to go to ericszaneshow.com. And if you would, please consider getting a T-shirt. That's another way I make the needle move here in the household. ericszaneshow.com. Click merch. Tons of styles, colors, long sleeve, short sleeve, you name it, all there at ericszaneshow.com. And you know I want you all to be on board with the Patreon bonus podcast. Sign up $5 or $10 a month. I am out of time. I am out of talent. I'm out of content. Plenty of day left. I hope you have a good one. Remain safe. Thank you to all of you for supporting from the very beginning, even the most recently. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you down the road. Bye, folks. Bye. Oh, Facebook tomorrow when I bring down that tree with Dean. It'll be social distancing and tree cutting tomorrow on Facebook. Maybe even YouTube and Twitter. I don't know. It's some one way or another. It'll be there for you to see. Thanks to John for the music as always. See you, folks. Bye-bye.